Hi everyone, welcome back to the Coding and Analysis YouTube channel. And in this video, the second video in the playlist, I'm just going to do a walkthrough of the Jupyter notebook up until the I start doing a walkthrough of the random forest regression code. So right here, I start off with the Jupyter notebook with the import packages that I'm bringing in. So I'm importing pandas as alias PD, import numpy as np, and then I'm bringing in the scikit-learn packages. So we have here the model, what we're using for the model selections. So scikit-learn, we put sklearn.model_selection import. So we're using a train test split with the random forest regressor, and then cross-val predict, cross-val score, and k-fold for the cross-validation. So we're using these for the cross-validation, using train test split for the random forest regressor, and then the sklearn.ensemble. So we're importing random forest regressor. So we use this for the both the train test split 20% testing, 80% training. And then we also use this for the we add this to the cross-validation machine learning code as well, which we'll do in the next coming videos. And then we have the sklearn.metrics, import make_score, mean absolute error, mean squared error, and the r² score. And then we're using the matplotlib.pyplot with the alias is plt, and cborn with the alias of sns for the charting of the graphs. And then you can see here the combined stats. So we're using the pandas.read function method to bring in the data set that I just did a walkthrough of. So fantasy football projections, CSV file. You can go back and watch the first video. I did a walkthrough of that and the different columns that I incorporated. And then for the criteria of the data set, for the health grade, so this could be kind of based on this availability score for the veterans, a case-by-case basis for the backups, and 2025 rookies, assuming they'll be healthy. So the health grade is, I don't know if it's going to be in here. Let's see. It's not in here. So the 2023 health grades, 2024 health grades, that's different than the health grade right here. This is just going to be based on the number of games that the players played, for especially for the veterans, for the past 3 years. So I just did their average for the past 3 years, and then divided it by the number of games a regular season by 17 multiplied by 100 to get this basic health grade score. And then this health grade for 2023 and 2024, it's based on the number of games. So if they would have a score 0 if they were healthy, they played 16, 17 games, or if they were a healthy backup. A 1 if they played 14, 15 games. They scored a 2. It'd be in moderate injuries. They played 10 to 13 games for the regular season for this 2023 season and 2024 season. And 3s being major injuries, they only played 5 to 9 games. And 4 significant injuries, they barely played at all that season. They played 0 to 4 games. And you can see here, I do a dot head method, and we get the first 5 results in that data set that I already walked through, but except in Jupyter Notebooks, it's not going to show all of the columns, just going to show the beginning and the end columns. So this is the CBS Fantasy Football Sports, their predicted PPR scoring for the players. So this could be our target variable. So we're not using these stats, these predicted stats. We're using the historical stats and the health grades and the number of games and the ages. So we're going to use all of those feature columns to put into the model. The model's going to learn on all this data and spit out a number, and we'll see how close it is to this column right here. And then we see here, we do a group by method for the fantasy positions for the 2025 PPR. So this is going to be our predicted scores. So we're going to have a mean of 141 for the running backs, mean of 164 for wide receivers, tight ends, and the quarterbacks 283. So we're having the count here. So the wide receivers, tight ends is going to be 154 combined. Running backs 89, quarterbacks is going to be 38. So it's going to be a smaller number. So in the cross validation, we'll have to do a smaller folds that the model's running on instead of the typical 5 folds of data. We'll use the 5 folds for the running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends, and just do like a 3-fold for the quarterbacks. And you can also see here with the mean. So when I talked in the prior video, I wanted to do experiment on for the rookies, for the 2025 rookies. I left the wide receivers and the tight ends and quarterbacks as 0 for their prior season stats, since they didn't play at all for the 2024 season in the NFL. But for the running backs, I just put the average PPR points for that position for most of them, and then except for Ashton Genetti, which I put I kind of just put a figure in that I thought, since he's going to get more volume than what the mean would be for the running back position. So that's why his score was higher, and then some of the other running backs that aren't drafted or that were drafted in the later rounds, I kind of put a lower, maybe like around 90 or 100 instead of the mean, which I think the mean scoring for the running backs was 136. So, well, I kind of want to see the difference of what the model's going to do for these rookies, and we'll go over that when the time comes. And then this is the data frame and .info method. We can see all the columns we're putting in, all the columns we're using. So we have integers and floats, and then objects. So the objects are just going to be like the words, the wording. So like player, team, fantasy, position, those are objects. And then, so the model, like the random forest regressor model, it can only take in numbers. So it can only take in these integers right here. So we're going to be using the all the integers and floats for the model to understand and to compute. And then here I had to the pass yards, rush yards, and receiving yards for 2024. They were objects, so I had to go in and convert them to numerical numbers. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm saying converting to numeric right here, and then doing a loop. So I'm saying combine stats, the data, all the columns right here with the numeric. So these numeric columns right here, I'm saying pandas dot to underscore numeric method and then saying, you know, change these to numeric instead of objects. So that way the model can read this and understand it. Because if we didn't change this in the for loop right here, the model wouldn't understand it and we would get an error. So that's what I did right here. So now the data should be ready. So in the next video, we're going to run the train test and split with the random forest regressor for the feature columns that we want to determine the target variable, which is the 2020-25 PPR numbers for the NFL players. So I'll do that in the next video. Thank you all for watching, and always remember to never stop coding, and see y'all in the next video. Thanks.